Hello and welcome back. I am Matt Taylor and this is my variety channel. I have another Dungeons & Dragons how-to video, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this cool little tower that you can use with your minis. You can use them with your paper minis. I have a video on how to make paper minis, or you can use them with the other kind of minis. And it's just a really cheap, easy, fun little tower that you can make to spruce up your battle maps. And we are going to use just this simple old-fashioned oats container here. Where I live, this is just the 1 pound container, and it's about I would say about a foot high, about 4 inch in diameter, and it works for a perfect little tower. Makes it about a 3-story tower. Pretty awesome, really easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get started. Down below in the description box, I'll list all the things that I'm using to do this little craft project. First, we want to break down our box a little bit, or our container, oatmeal container. And I'm just going to take a little X-Acto knife and I just want to cut off this top part. And it's really easy. There's other cylinder cases that you can buy, like if you go to Staples or Office Depot, they will have the round cylinder mailers. You could use those. They're a little bit more sturdy, so they're a little harder to cut. But you're welcome to use that. Any cylinder storage container pretty much can work. So let's just cut this off here. All right, there we go. Pretty neat. And then what we want to do is we need to get some round shapes out of this. We want 2 of them. One that can be at the top, near the top, this one that will glue in there. And then the other one that's in the middle, if you can see it through this window. I have one in there as well. So we want to get some round shapes. And what I'll do, oh, there's some oatmeal in there. And let's just trace around this. All right, I'm just going to do 2 of them just so we have them. All right, and then we'll just cut these out. You can use scissors or use your X-Acto knife. All right, I got my little cardboard discs cut out. I'm gonna set these aside for a moment. I'm gonna have to measure them just a little bit and trim them to fit in there. But now what I wanna do is I wanna put on our skin texture, and I just printed this right off Google. Just found Google images for the texture that I liked. I like this texture, so I wanted to use that. Alternatively, you could spray paint the outside of this with like a gray, and then you could glue on little rocks or something if you want to go that crazy with it, which would be a cool look. But what I want to do is I want to cut off this edge, that edge, and then just pretty much all the white edges, just cut those off. And then what we'll do is we'll just take this and measure a little bit so we know how much to cut off the top. So roughly about 1 inch there. And then you could just use a ruler to draw that across if you want, or just eyeball it. Okay, great. That's looking good enough. All right, now we want to attach this skin, and you could use a spray adhesive if you want, or just use a glue stick. I normally just use the glue stick. You could also use hot glue. And then we want to just wrap this on there. Just set it down so it rests on this little lip. And there's a number of ways that you can to do this and attach this. just pick which way that you like the best. All right, great. And you might want to come in here, just add a little bit more glue. All right, fantastic. And then normally what I'll do also is just for safety measures, just put a piece of tape on there. And now we want to cover up this gap with this other piece. So I just want to cut out a piece here. And then measure this again. All right, and then we'll just glue this one down. And you could try to match patterns too if you want. Pretty awesome though, huh? Looking pretty neat. And then I'll usually just do a run of tape down the edge. Cool, so we have the skin on there and it's coming along. And now what I do is I want to do the entrance first. That way I can put my fingers in there and hold this bottom piece as I glue it. This bottom piece of round cardboard. And normally I'll find that seam and put that towards the back of our entrance, of our tower. And then I'm gonna do the entrance right here at here. And I'll usually just take a mini and gauge a little bit higher than him. So right around there. And we'll just cut in there with our X-Acto knife. Being very careful so you don't cut yourself, of course. And there we go, we got our little entrance there, pretty awesome. And if you need, when you're doing that, if one of these flaps comes up, you can glue that back down if you want. Perfect. And now let's do our middle piece. A lot of times when you cut it, it's gonna be larger because we cut around it and we really need to go on the inside of our cut. So it's fine, I usually cut it large on purpose. That way you can just trim some off the edge where it might be a little fat. All right, that'll work. And then what I do is I just push it down with my hands, if you can see that in there. And then I have my other fingers up in here and I hold it and look down and make sure it's flat. And I want it just above this entrance about. And then what I'll do is to make sure it's attached is I'll take a hot glue gun. I'll go down in here and I'll just start gluing the edges. It's gonna be really hard to show with the camera down there. We just kind of push it down in there and go around the piece of cardboard. And that will hold that little piece in place. And if you need to adjust it to make it a little level, you can do that. And you can take one of these little guys and put it down in there and make sure he stands up upright. And great, you have that piece in there. Next, we'll let that cool a little bit. And then we want to cut out a window so we can, again, hold it from underneath. And you want your window big enough to where you can put a guy through there, but then also to where he shows about halfway, you know, like if he's an archer or something like that. So we'll take this guy, and we can put him in here and set him up like that. And that looks like it'll work great. And now we want to put the top on. So again, measure it and just trim it as needed, and then we can put that on. Okay, and then I have that fitted, and I just want to go down a little ways just above the window. And you can kind of gauge it with the guy, how high you want it to be. Where do you want the guy's head to be? This other one over here, maybe it'll come up a little. But totally up to you how you want to do these. And then again, come in here, just hold it with your fingers. And come in here, and let's do some hot glue to hold it in place. Now let's let it dry, and then we can cut out the little parts up here to make it look like that classic turret look or tower look. And while we're waiting for the top to dry, I will come in here and cut out some more windows. Do as many as you want. I usually do 4 on this second level. And there we go. We have 4 windows in that second level. And you can put another entrance on the back of this if you want. I usually just have 1 entrance. And now we'll do cut these little slits. So then you'll just go up, down a little bit, and then over. And cut one out like that, and then do that until it's all the way around. All right, and once you have them all cut out on the top, normally what I'll do is come in here with a piece of tape and just tape these down. Usually they'll need it like that. And there you have it, a cool basic little tower that you can use with your minis that I made from a container of oatmeal. Pretty awesome. Great way to spruce up your battle maps and add a little bit more depth and character to your battles. Well, there you have it. Cool little towers that I made for my Dungeons & Dragons minis. They're really, really cool. I used these in a campaign earlier over 4th of July weekend, and everybody loved them. And really, really awesome. Really easy to do and really cheap to make. You could buy things that look like this, but they'll probably be more expensive. And it's fun doing like crafty things anyway. So there you have it. If you want to see some other Dungeons & Dragons tutorials, make sure to check out my channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my new videos. Take care. Until next time, happy gaming, everyone.